Good morning to everyone. We want Dr. member, we must welcome to each and every invited here we are to meet. On a very auspicious moment in a spectacular morning, this moment is special for us, and we are all gathered here for them to make it more important. Yes, today's program is how to write research articles in high impact journals, organized by Research Forum, National College of Arts and Science, Clarivate. Now I humbly invite Dr. M. Mary Shiba, Governor, Ministry, National College of Arts and Science, Clarivate, to deliver the welcome address.
Okay, good morning to one and all present here. I am very glad to welcome you all for this webinar organized by Nanjal Research Forum, Nanjal Catholic College of Arts and Science, Kaliyakavlai. I welcome our Almighty God to grace and bless the session. First, I would like to welcome our respected Secretary, Reverend Father Eckerman Michael, who is the active person behind us to encourage and motivate both the staff and students to be creative and learn new things to shine the world. On behalf of our organizing committee, we welcome you, Father. Next, I'd like to welcome our respected principal, Dr. Meenakshi Sundararajan, who is the active person to initiate more activities for the development of staff and students towards the growth of the college. On behalf of our organizing committee, we welcome you, sir. Next, I extend my happiness to our respected speaker, Dr. K. Jayalakshmi. She is one of the inspirational young women in the field of teaching and research. Today is the topic she is going to present is how to write research articles in high impact journals. On behalf of our college and organizing committee, we welcome you, ma'am. Happy to have you with us. Next, I'd like to welcome all our head of the departments, teaching and non-teaching staff members of this webinar. I'm happy to welcome all the participants to the webinar. Hope the session will be very useful to you to promote your research article writing at present or in future. Welcome you all. And also I welcome all the organizing committee members. Once again, I welcome you all.
Thank you, madam. Now,
I am very glad to introduce our chief guest, Dr. K. Jayalakshmi. She has completed her PhD in National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. She has much interested in the field of teaching and research. She is currently working as an assistant professor, Department of Chemistry in Kumaraswamy College of Engineering, Karur. Her research interest is highly visible by her research publication. She has published more than 10 research articles in highly reputed journals like AZS, RSC, Science Direct, and also papers presented in seminars and conferences. She has received gold medals during her studies and also awarded as a DST Inspire Fellow by the Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi. Today, she is going to present a topic for us is how to write research articles in high impact journals. Welcome you, ma'am, for the presentation.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind introduction. Shall I start the presentation, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Jayalakshmi, Assistant Professor of Chemistry from M. Kumarasamy College of Engineering, Karur. Okay. Today in this webinar, I'm going to present on how to write research articles in high impact journal, and which is the need of the Harvard because we may be doing a good piece of research and we have ended up in so many interesting results, but sometimes we fail to publish in high impact journals. There may be so many reasons are there, but one of the reasons is we are lagging in our writing skills. So this webinar is going to highlight some points which you can learn to improve your writing skills. First, I'll go over the introduction. Am I audible? Ma'am, I'm audible to you clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, first,
Yeah.
yes, I'll start with the
My
introduction.
okay.
Research.
Proceed.
The word research is derived
Okay.
from
Okay.
Middle French word research, which means to go about seeking. We are going to seek for the new things. That is, there are so many ways of defining research. One such way is research is defined as the creation of new knowledge, the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way. So in a new and creative way, if you think like that, means it will generate new concept and it will be bringing a new outcome and new methodologies and new understandings and all. So that new methodologies and concepts should be a boon to the society, and it will bring a good outcome to the societal problem prevailing. So that is a good piece of research. And next is the steps in conducting research. What are the steps, different steps in conducting research? We are joining a big research group. There may be a multidisciplinary fields will be going there, but you want to select your research field and you want to identify what is the research problem. So that is the first main thing you want to find is the identification of the research problem should be done. And after identifying the research problem, you want to go for a deep literature review. You want to collect all the relevant literatures which supports your research problems. And after that, collecting all the literature review, you want to specify why that is in purpose of doing this research. And after doing that, you want to able to answer a specific question, why I want to do this research and what sort of importance it's having and what is the gap in the research field and what sort of outcome I can give by doing this research. So all this after identifying the research problem, you want to able to answer this research questions. And after that, framing such research questions, you want to put forth some hypothesis. Put forth some hypothesis means you want to you want to do assumptions on what you're going to do. And after that, you're going to choose a methodology. There are so many methodology for the data collection, and you want to choose your best methodology for doing such research. And after that, you want to collect the data for the research and you want to verify the data. And after that, you want to analyze and interpret the data and all. And after all doing those things, you can report and evaluate results. The final thing, what is the very most important thing is communicating the research findings in way of writing a research papers. And before starting, after doing a work, you want to ask these questions before preparing a manuscript so that only you can publish in high impact journals. What are the questions means? Have you done anything new? Is there any challenging aspects in your work? And will your research infuse other researchers also? And is your research a solution to the different problem? If the answer is yes, you can start preparing your manuscript. And these are the different stages of writing a research paper. Okay. And what are the different stages means? Pre-writing stage, writing stage, and then post-writing stage. And in the pre-writing stage means nothing but you evaluate your research data, and you will develop how to write, and you can frame the outline of writing a paper and all. And after that, you want to choose a target journal in which you want to publish. According to that only, you can write your manuscript effectively. And you want to be thorough with the author's guidelines also. So these are the pre-writing stages. And coming to the writing stage, so this is the correct method. It will be good if you start writing this manuscript in this way. First, you can start with your own materials and methods. That is good in this way if you start. Then you can consolidate all your research and discussions. Then you can write the conclusion. Out of these things, you can able to write a good introduction of your research work. Then after writing all those, you can summarize, and then you can write a very fine abstract for that. Then means framing out and all the keywords you can pick out, and you can have a suitable title for that. And next one is you can have a graphical abstract in an attractive way. And then you can go for the proofreading. That is once again we'll checking for every corrections, every mistakes what you have done. That is proofreading. And then it is when we can do internal review, and the internal review is mostly done by our supervisor. And next one is post-writing stage. And post-writing stage means after preparing a manuscript, we are ready to go for the publication. So in that stage, this is very most important thing is writing a good cover letter. We'll see later in one by one. Writing a cover letter is also one of the most important aspect in the post-writing stage. Then you want to select the potential reviewers, and you want to submit to the journal whether you will go ask that is accepted, manuscript will be accepted, or it will be going for a revision. Then you can go for the resubmission. If accepted, your proof is ready, and at last the paper get published. So these are the different stages. There are different types of articles like research papers, that is in short communications or letter, and full article. Short communication means this is easily it will be communicated within that is published within a few days, and only a significant work will be published in this short communications and all. From that significant points, a large number of results are it may be acting it may act as an it may serve or help the other researchers to develop that. So significant results only be published in this short communications and letters. And full articles is what we do is contain significant data, details, developments, and outcomes. What we usually send it for a journal. And review paper. And review paper means summarize all the recent development in this particular specific topic or particular research field. See what a researcher have done, what our peers have we done, all be consolidated in a one paper is called review paper. And this is the structure of a research paper: title, author's name and affiliation, abstract, keywords, introduction, methodology, results and discussion, conclusions, acknowledgement, and references. See, this is the schematic representation of a research paper. You have the main thing you want to notice what is in the middle. That is introduction. So introduction should be always start with the general background. You want to state the general background of your research work. Then you want to narrow down to a specific problem, what you're going to do with this research work. Okay, so it starts from the general background and it narrows down. So that is the introduction part. Then methods. You want to provide specific details of what methodology you have followed and what are the evidence, how the evidences have been acquired. And then results, you want to find out what is your main findings. So that will be discussed in the results. And discussion part is you provide interpretation. You will be interpreting your data and you will be discussing that. And in that discussion part, first it will be narrower. You will be talking about a specific problem. So what sort of results we got, okay? And afterwards, you can go to a broader level. That is, you want to give recommendations. So our research work is used, have accomplished like that. So it started from a narrow end and it should be a broader while we end up our discussion. Now we'll see one by one or the structure of the research paper. Title. The title should perfectly highlight your main work. Okay, and your title should not contain ornamental words or exaggerated words. It should not contain such an exaggeration and all. And your title should be reliable. Realistically, it should be present what is being given in the research paper, and scalable, robust, and low complex words should be used. While choosing a title, so we can have like this. Okay, answer some basic questions of your work. First, you want to answer some basic questions. What methodology, objects, and results you have done. And you want to list the keywords and phrases from the response. Then you can write long sentences comprising all those keywords and phrases. And you can work out what title you can give for your paper. If you feel something is unnecessary and not related to that, you can delete that words. So you can end up with a fine title, or you can choose 2 or 3 titles. Then you can select which is a suitable one. And if you want, if subtitle is necessary, you can go for a subtitle also. And this is a sample title where the title is, since I'm working with in bioinorganic field, I have cited an example of mine paper. Synthesis, DNA protein binding, molecular docking, DNA cleavage, and and in vitro anti-cancer activity of nickel 2 bis thiosemicarbazone complexes. Okay, so I highlighted the important words, important methodologies, what we have followed. We have DNA protein binding, we have done molecular docking studies, we have did, and DNA cleavage we have did, and in vitro anti-cancer activity we have done. For what? Nickel 2 complexes. So these are the very important words which I feel it's very important. It should be in the title. So I have placed some words and I have framed a title out of this. And this is also an title, another title. So coordination behavior of N dash, N double dash, tri-substituted guanidine ligands in the ruthenium iron complex. And this is nothing but a subtitle. So this is subtitle is used because this I feel this coordination behavior, I feel this is important to mention in my title. So I have used like that. Then this subtitle is used to support what are the things I have done in the research. Okay, so this like this is an example title. And author's name and affiliation. This is one of the most important thing. And who can be an author of your paper? Okay, and who did substantial work for this to support your research can be a co-author. Or who helped in drafting your manuscript can be a co-author. Or who helped you to resubmit the manuscript or have helped you in a critical idea can be a co-author. Who have helped you in some characterization techniques, they have did so many characterization for you, that persons can be a co-author. Okay, so these are the persons who have a privilege to be an authors. Okay, coming to this author's name and affiliation, use same name in all the articles that you're going to publish. Don't use different types of names in different articles, like first name, last name and all. And style may vary in different journals, that is different, but what name you're using, that name should be everywhere, reflecting everywhere. And use your correct email ID for your correspondence, and give your affiliation and address correctly. Sometimes you have there is some problem with after initial you want to leave space on often. So some colleges and all affiliation after initial they will leave space. That is after you will not leave space. So like that problems will be there. No, so means you want to write that properly, affiliation and addresses correctly. And this is one such examples, and myself and see this here. This is an example of this author's name and affiliation. And next, coming to the abstract part. Abstract part is most important part of the article, because while submitting a manuscript, the editor will not go and look into the whole content of your paper. He'll be just looking around your abstract only. It should be attractive and it should be concise as possible. And that one paragraph want to be able to depict the whole story. Okay, what whole story of your research, so that reader should understand the whole story in one particular paragraph. And you can summarize in the abstract, you can want to summarize your whole article, and keep in mind that sentences in the abstract should not repeat once again in the main text also. Ensure that you are doing like that. And avoid acronym, like abbreviated words, try to avoid in the abstract. Okay, and writing hints for writing abstract. So that abstract can be framed like this. So introduction, you want to introduce your research work. Okay, that can be done to 1 to 2 lines. And methodology, you can write what methodology you have adopted, that you can write to 2 to 3 lines. And results and discussion, you go for 1 to 2 lines and all. And conclusion, you can conclude what is your within 1 line. So this is a general format. It is good if you follow like that. So this is in sample abstract, whether we have started with some introduction. So we are doing a research on ruthenium complexes and all, and we have introduced about our complexes and all, and what sort of complexes we are preparing, and what methodology and what characterization techniques we have followed to confirm the complexes and all, and what sort of applications we have did, and finally we have concluded with what result we have got. So this is the sample abstract. And next one is keyword. What is the role of the keyword means? The keyword why we are giving. Keyword is used to search for the other similar articles like that, or we can able to identify who are our peers working in the, who are our peers and all. The most important generic word that focuses your work should be used. So in this article, this is an example. In this article, we have highlighted what are the that is cystatin, thiochemica, abosom, nickel 2 complexes, and cytotoxicity, apoptosis, and DNA cleavage and all. So these sorts of words, so these keywords, it will be helpful to identify other related words also. And coming to the introduction part, in the introduction, the flow of the objective should be like this. So the first, before writing, you want to know introduction, you want to know identify the knowledge gap. So what research we are doing and what is the gap in the particular field and how we can fill all these answers you have while writing the introduction part. And explain how our research work fills the gap, how we have filled the gap and what novel things we have did. You want to emphasize on that. You want to emphasize what novel things we have did. Okay, and you want to summarize how this study will try to fill this gap. So this is the flow of the objective of the introduction part. Introduction, coming to the introduction, what are the things we want to have in an introduction means describe the importance. What is the importance of the study? Why this work? Doing this in the first discussion, first paragraph, you want to mention why it was worth doing, why this research we want to do. Then you can define your model, what model you're going to discuss, and you want to provide some justification. rationalization. So why I have choose this model and how this model will be working and what are the objectives, how the outcome will be, like that you want to rationalize things, and you can cite some clear references which supports that closely related work. You can cite a few citations you can give so that can support your work. Then clarifications of your term, definitions and abbreviations you want to, and you want to write the experimental design and how it have been accomplished. Then your first paragraph, the introduction, in your first paragraph, it should follow an inverted triangle. Already I have explained, so that it should start with a broad context. Then finally, after that, you can shrink to a specific problem. So the first paragraph should be like that. And the first paragraph should really create interest for the readers. That is very important. Your first paragraph should be, and you want to write in an interesting way, and the paragraph should end with the general problem addressed. An introduction writing tips: write in active voice when possible, use concise statement, use stronger verbs like avoid, maybe, might be, like that, avoid such words and all. Don't overuse first person's pronoun and all, I, we, like that. Organize your thought from broad to specific. And the most important thing is there should be a flow from one paragraph to the other paragraph. One paragraph you are writing something, and the other paragraph it's not related to, means it's of no use. So there should be a flow from one paragraph to the other paragraph. And be clear in explaining what is the necessity of this work. And this is the sample introduction. That is, see, we have started from the, that is, we are doing anti-cancer work, means we have started from the cisplatin, the well-known anti-cancer agent. So we have started from the broader concept, and we have introduced ruthenium. Why ruthenium? Why we want to go for that? And we have cited some important ruthenium compounds as in like support for our research work, and we have discussed our methodologies and what we are going to do in our paper. And methodology, so this methodology describe the what methods you are adopting in detail. Don't hide your methods. You frankly write all those things you have followed, and state the assumptions clearly. What assumptions you have made, state that clearly. And you want to justify all the stated assumptions also. And diagrams, flowcharts, and clear illustrations to make the, you can use that to make understandable. In results and discussion, first starting with the results and discussion, you want to be very thorough with the guidelines, instructions of the journal, what you're going to publish. So each journal will be having their own style of writing or references. Everything style may vary, everything. So you want to be thorough with this guidelines. So you can start preparing the models and results and discussions. Even it will be different in some papers, in a different way of writing. So you want to know all those things. Okay, and for the similar topics, how they have been ended up in the results and discussion, so that you can see to that. And next one, consider your research results in relation to the journal requirement. You want to publish in different journals, you want to know how it have been given in this particular journal, and then you can catalog your results according to that. So cataloging is nothing but you want to focus on the experimental results and other findings and all. Then you can catalog your results. How you will be cataloging your results means by using subheadings and all, and clarify. You can make an arrangements of how to present the data, and you can frame the structure of your results. The next step is, this is most important step, design figures and tables to present and illustrate your data. You can design out good tables and figures, and it should be numbered according to the order in which they are present in the main text. And your tables and figures should be self-explanatory. Self-explanatory means on seeing the figure and tables, you can able to identify what sorts of results is got by using a clear caption. So from that itself, we want to be very clear with that. And don't use tables and figures as a focal point to tell a clear and informative about your research. And that if once it is represented in the table and figures, it's need not want to write the same values which is presented in the table in the main manuscript. So in such a way, your table have to be there. Next one is draft your result section using the findings and figures you have organized. So you can write the discussion after cataloging all those things. You can write precise sentences which supports and which are most effective. And in the there is results and discussion paragraph. In the paragraph, once again you want to restate your problem. Why you want to restate your problem means then only the reader can able to understand what sort of evidence is given for this particular thing. So you want to restate your research questions, and you have used any specialized terminologies, abbreviations is being discussed in the introduction, that should be clarified in the results and discussion part. And the last step is after doing all those things, we have come to an end of writing the results and discussion part. Then you can review your draft, edit and revise until it is in a clear order. Okay, so double check the accuracy and consistency of your data, and read your draft once again and again to check whether any mistakes are there, or any awkward phrases are there, any missing transitions are there, and any grammatical mistakes are there. You want to read again and again to check this errors and all, and ensure that your results are present in the best order. Why means it should be present in the best order, then only the readers can be able to understand so what sort of results have been given and what sort of recommendations have been given from this results. Okay, and next one is you can seek guidance from your research supervisor for this. Seeking additional guidance is on the paper. And conclusion, in the conclusion part, what you will be doing, once again you want to restate your hypothesis or research questions and restate what is your major findings and all, and tell the reader you want to specify what contribution you have done through this research work. So that is a very interesting point in the conclusion. And if you have any negative results also or any limitations also, you want to highlight that also. Not only positive points, negative points and justification for that also to be mentioned in the conclusion part. And state future direction. So because of this work, research work, this will be having a future directions in research like this. So you can include as a final statement in your conclusions. Next, acknowledgement. So who can be acknowledged means that is acquisition of funding and general supervision of a research group or general administrative support. Those who have rendered administrative support, that persons have to be acknowledged, and those who have helped in writing and technical editing, language editing and proofreading can be acknowledged. Next one is referencing. What is mean by referencing means to distinguish your own ideas and findings from those who have drawn from the work of others. Okay, to follow more detailed ideas or facts that you have referred to. So you want to cite relevant references in your manuscript. So before writing the following details should be known. Before writing the references, you want to know these details: our name, initial of the author, publication date, title, and volume number, and book means the publisher name and the place of publications and all. So all these details you want to know. And this is the sample references. References will be different in different journals. So you want to clearly look into the how it have been cited, even as dot, comma, everything will be changes, italics, bold, everything will be changes in every journal. So be keen on that, and you want to write references. So these are the sample references, where in some journals we don't want to write the title of that work, where in some journals like ACS journals and all, we want to write the complete title of the work, and you want to cite this paper. And this is an example of the book references. So this differs in journal by journal. And this is, you want to mind your references. Mind your references means what sort of things you want to do while citing a paper. Cite the main scientific publication only on which your work is based on. Don't cite irrelevant references and all. It's not good. Actually, it's not good to have too much references and all. Restrict your references, and it should not go beyond like 67. So many references is not good. Add relevant references and all. And you want to, that is before citing, you want to know, completely understand what have been given in that paper. Then you can cite that. So that thing should support what you have done in this research paper. So that type of references should be added. And you can do self-citation, but self-citation should be very closely related to your work, what you're presenting now. So keep self-citation to a minimum. And avoid excess citation. So from the for a particular single topic, we'll be citing so many references and also avoid excess citation of publications from the same particular area. And this is the graphical abstract. A graphical abstract is a visual summary of your article's main findings, and this is like a promotional tool. So this is we can see this images and all. This is serves as a promotional tool, and this graphical abstract depicts what your work. So like that, you want to have your graphical abstract. So in this abstract, so we have for example, from this abstract we can able to identify the author have worked with some mononuclear molecules and then binuclear molecules, and they have studied the biomolecular interaction and anti-cancer studies. And from this we have inferred that binuclear complexes are more active. And from this diagram, if we are aware with all those things, we can able to identify the author have worked with some computational studies also there. So from your your graphical abstract should be in a way, on seeing that picture, the whole story can be understood. And this is common mistakes seen in the manuscript submitted to the journal. So what are the common mistakes means? The research questions is not specified properly, and the aim is tautological. It's not properly, aim is not, it's vague. And the structure of the paper is chaotic, means sometimes we'll be writing the methods and all in the research and discussion parts, and vice versa it's been done. So it is called chaotic, it should be avoided. And manuscript does not follow the journal's instructions. So guidelines is very important. You want to be aware of that. And some papers, some journals, they'll be asking for a limited word should be there in the abstract like that. So that should not exceed the maximum number of words allowed. And the introduction, always in the introduction part, somebody will be writing only the review of what is being done. So it should be avoided. You want to emphasize on your own work. So a review of literature should be there, but only a few literatures you can, important literature you can cite, but you want to rationalize into introduction part. And methods, intervention, and instruments are not described in sufficient detail. So you are not describing the method in a clear way. And results, every results you want to report. You should not report selectively. And the same results appear both in the table and the text. I already discussed table what you're writing, that should not be again need not be repeated in the text. And detailed tables are provided for the results, but they don't have any answers for the research questions. They will not provide or support our research questions. Like that, tables should be avoided. And in the introduction and discussion, you are not citing the proper references. That is also not good. You want to cite the proper references in the introduction, the discussion part. And you should not use some very old references. If necessary, you can use a very old technique what you followed now, but avoid using out of date references and all. And discussion, sometimes discussion just give out the results alone. It will not, we are not answering or we are not provide any answers to the research question, means that should not be like that. We want to provide some answers what we have obtained. And you should not overstate the implication of the result and does not acknowledge the limitations. Limitations also should be acknowledged with the proper justification. And one more thing is the paper is written in the poor English. So many papers from the editors we can get comment like that. And here now with this of most important one is the similarity index is more, that is plagiarism is more in the paper. This is one of the most reasons nowadays the paper is being getting rejected. See, what is meant by plagiarism means to use the words or ideas of other person as if your own idea, or else to steal a concept and we are not crediting that. If you are taking concept from other authors, so what you want to actually credit them, but you're not crediting that, and using an old concept, and you are doing that, you are presenting that is your new idea and all, new and original idea. So that is all comes under plagiarism. So in your so this is in plagiarism checking. So many plagiarism checking softwares are there. A few examples I have given: Authenticate, Turnitin, Dupli Checker, and plagiarism detectors are there. There are so many plagiarism checking software, so you can check how many similarity index are there. So this is an example of a plagiarism checking report. So that report, similar words will be highlighted, and you will be having from which source you have highlighted. So it is copying from the internet source also. You have taken from word from the internet source. You want to cite that proper site, and also that is also help to reduce your plagiarism. So internet source, if you're taking, you don't forget to cite that also. And how to avoid plagiarism? The first thing is you can summarize that. So you are reading the concept of someone, but you want to present in your manuscript. So what happened? You can read that and you can understand in a good way, and you can try to write in your own word and summarize this. What is that? So that is one way of avoiding plagiarism. And paraphrase. Paraphrase means you want to have one sentences as such. So removing one word and writing the alternate word is not paraphrasing. You want to completely change that one sentence into your own sentences. So that is called paraphrasing. It's not mean you're taking one word and you're taking an other meaning of that and replacing that. So you want to change the whole sentences as well. And quotation. So quotation, you want to write something, that same words you want to write means use quotation, and you can represent that and you can cite in your references. So that will not be considered as plagiarism. So now I have discussed on how to write on basic ideas of how to write a paper. Now we are going to on the publication, that is publication side, that is choosing a journal and all, and how to choose a journal for the publications and all. So first you want to know all those things, whether our peer are working in that, our peer have published more papers in that, and you want to be aware of all those things and all. Impact factor, lead time or incubation time, our ISSN, our ISBN number. That is ISSN and ISBN means International Standard Serial Number and International Standard Book Number and all. And impact factor means that is yearly twice it's being calculated. It depends on the number of citation that journal has received during the last 2 years. So that is called impact factor. It will change by year. And lead time and incubation time means, so when we have submitted and when it have been published. So that is called lead time or incubation time. So these are the top impact factor journals, that is CA Cancer Journal for Physicians, that is 292.278, and New England Journal of Medicine 74, impact factor 74, and we have top 10 journals with impact factor. Okay, mostly you can see that is review articles will be having more impact factor. Why this review article is having more impact factor means that is the review article will be cited by more and more of authors. So this review articles will always have a high impact factor. And this is journal metrics. So this is an ISS journal. We have this ISSN number, ISSN number is given, and that is incubation. The time is you can see in your journal itself. You want to check this journal how much time it will be taking means you can take a reference paper and you can get this information. So receive, when it will be giving receive, and when it is published. So you want to have an earlier publications and all, you want to check a reference paper like this, and you can check this details and all. And this journal metrics can also be viewed from this journal homepage. Like this is an RSC journal, like impact factor and publication frequency, and who is the editor-in-chief, and indexing and all the things you can see from the journal homepage also. And this journal metrics can be calculated from, viewed from the academic accelerator. So in this website, if you type this journal name, it will be giving all like abbreviations, acceptance range, journal impact, journal profile, like that. All review speed, all this data will be given in academic accelerator. And the next very important thing is indexing. So whether the journal is indexed. So non-indexed journal is like it don't have that much. It's not, quality is not reflected. So it's not having that much importance. So we'll always check for the indexing, journal indexing, whether it is indexed in Scopus or SCI, like that. So indexing is a list of journals organized by a particular subject or discipline. And what does this indexing means? It reflects the good quality of the journal. If it is indexed means it's said to have a good quality. And indexed journals are considered to be highly scientific quality as compared to that of the non-indexed journal. So you want to check for the indexing and all. Some journals will be having so much of impact, so many things they have been given, but it is not indexed in any of the databases, means it's of no use of publishing that journals and all. So indexing journal, that is SCI indexing, can be find out using clarivate analysis. Master clarivate analytics. So give information on what is this. If you type this journal name here, it will be giving all information about like categories, ISSN number, and indexing data. It will be giving. And you can also check for the whether your journals are in the UGC CAR list, okay, Consortium of Academic Research and Ethics. Okay, you can check whether that journal which you want to publish is there or not in the from the CAR UGC portal also. And this is the paper publication process. We have seen the drafting a manuscript process. Now we are coming to the paper publication process. So first you want to complete your research and prepare an effective manuscript and all. Then you are in the position to submit the manuscript. So if it is well and good, if they have reviewers don't have any clarifications on that, so that will be automatically, it will be accepted, and it will be accepted, and it's for publication. Now if there is any queries of any clarifications they want, they'll give for revision. There will be minor revision or major revision. Then once again you want to write the answers for this questions and then resubmit. Then once again it have been reviewed by the reviewer, and decision have been given. If once a paper is rejected, so what we can do in an high impact journal, suppose if it is rejected means we can think of the points what has have been discussed here, and you can incorporate that, and you can submit in another journals also. So manuscript submission, or during manuscript submission, what you want to do, you want to read the instruction carefully, and the most important thing is writing a good cover letter, and you can suggest who are the which reviewers if you want to review the paper. If they are asking, if portal is asking, you can feed all those details, and double check whether the uploaded files are in the correct order, and confirm the receipt and whether it is communicated properly. So writing a cover letter, why it is very important means we get an opportunity to expose. So what is the importance of the word? So that is read by the editor. So it should be in an expose in a manner to expose what is this importance, and you want to state a statement why this suits this journal. And choosing the editor, you should not choose the wrong editor, or don't you want to choose a relevant editor and all. There are in some journals there are so many editors will be there in different fields and all, so you want to pick a correct editor. You should not address to the wrong editor also. And in the covering letter, you want to specify why this study should fit this journal, and whether the readers of this journal will enjoy reading this or find importance of this work. And you highlight what are the novel aspects we have did, and so this journal is suitable for a publication. Like that, all details should be there in the cover letter to impress the editor. And this is the editorial process. Submission, pre-check will be done, and after that it will be going for peer review. If it is not, sometimes the quality is not good, there is no novelty, is that the editor will be rejecting our paper. It will not go to the reviewer. Sometimes after 2 or 3 days, if we get our paper rejected back, we can think that is rejected by the editor itself. Then it is go for peer review and editor's decision and revision, whether it is accepted or rejected. Then once again, if it is revision means you want to once again resubmit after doing all those corrections, then peer review, then accepted. Then after that, layout editing, language editing, proofreading, and format conversion. We will be given for proofreading. We want to check word by word, and then you want to write what are the corrections being want to be implemented. Then finally, it is went for publication. See how to respond to a reviewer. Sometimes some papers we might be getting some that is acceptance, two our reviewers accepted, but one reviewer didn't accept in all. So it is very important, you want to respond to the reviewer in a proper way, that is carefully. That is our justification is also very important, so that only a paper will be getting published. So carefully prepare your responses, and they will be giving so many comments, and you should not left any comments. You want to address every comments in a proper way, and each changes you want to be highlight so that only the editor or the once again it went for review, they can able to understand. And be enthusiastic in answering. Justification should be given in a way that should be accepted by the editors or reviewers again. And sometimes what happened, the reviewers may be asking some irrelevant questions and all, which is not related to our work. Sometimes it may happen. So at that time, you can answer tactfully, means compromising him, and so you want to thank the reviewers for that. If any appreciation being given means you can thank the reviewers for that particular comment. And while responding to the authors, if there is any critical questions you cannot answer means you can get the help of the co-authors also, so that you can combinedly respond to when reviewers in a very good way. And at last, address the corrections to the chief editor. And major reasons for the rejection of manuscript. Apart from that, everything you want to look into that, and after that, there are that is major reasons you want to know why the paper get rejected. The quality. The quality means science is, that is concept is missing. The science is not good in your work, so it may reject. And novelty. The science is good. The experiment what you have conducted is very good. We have cited relevant references. Okay, very good. But there is no novelty. It have been reported by a person before itself. The similar work cannot be published. So they expect a novelty in high impact journals. So novelty is missing, and it's good belong and speciality. Some journals will be publishing only in special kind of work. You want to be aware of that while submitting to a manuscript. If it is not there, means sometimes there is a reason for the rejection. And poor writing style and plagiarism. So, and that manuscript, so always will be get the answers. A manuscript does not meet the standards of a journal. So you want to ensure that it meets the standard of that particular journal what you're submitting. And after you write the paper, you have good publications and all. Next is you want to promote your research. So how you want, why you want to promote your research means, you want to promote your research so only it is recognized by different persons working in your field, or your friends or your institutional members and all. So you want to promote your research also. So share your work with your social networks, and you can create a professional profiles and all. And you want to utilize a research sharing platform like ResearchGate, Menleave, Academia.U, and CiteU, like that. So because this utilizing this will be able to find so many researchers who are able to work, who are working in your same field. So you can promote your research also, and you can identify the persons working in your field, and you can follow them also. And you can create a Google Scholar profile. Google Scholar profile can be created to review, or you can find out your author index. Okay, we can find our index and indexation and all from Google Scholar profile. And you can, after publishing a paper and all, you can have your unique author ID, and you can have an readership. You can increase readership within your institution. That is your friends or your person, colleague working in your institution can be have a view of your paper and all. And so next one is author level metrics. The main the thing is author level metrics, or citation metrics, that measures the bibliometric impact of individual authors, researchers, academic, and scholars. We have H index, okay, H index and I10 index. All this informations you can get from a Google Scholar or Scopus. If you're registered in Scopus, you can get this information. So H index is the number of publications you have the highest number of citations. You want to arrange your publication in the descending order, and that H number indicates the number with the same or more number of publications. So that is called H index. So you can get all this data from the Google Scholar, Scopus, or ResearchGate, publish with various Web of Science. So you can have this websites to find out your H index and all. And I10 index means, the I10 index indicates the number of academic publications with 10, at least 10 citations. So that is called, if your paper is having 10 citations, so that is concluded as I have an I10 index. So how many papers is there? Like there 10 papers you have, means I10 index is 10. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation. I wish all to achieve greater heights in your research forum. Thank you all. And I acknowledge in this juncture, I would like to acknowledge Dr. R. Carvambusher, my supervisor from NIT Trichy, from which I have learned everything what I've discussed here, my family and friends, and organizing committee of this webinar, and special thanks to Dr. M. Mary Shiba, the convener of this webinar. Thank you all.
for making this event successful one. Words of encouragement for us. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to request Dr. J. Rajesh Babu, Assistant Professor, Department of DDA, Nanjal Catholic College of Arts and Science, Kaliyakavle, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to all. It is a great privilege to thank all the dignitaries who have witnessed it as a memorable and successful online webinar. I extend my pleasure to the Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success. With His blessing and grace, we are able to make this event a great success. First of all, I would like to thank our Secretary, Reverend Father Eckermans Michael. He is actually a man of inspiration. He provides excellent learning opportunities to the students and a great platform to bring out their skill. On behalf of Nanjal Research Forum, I thank our Secretary. Next, I thank our beloved Principal, Dr. Meenakshi Sundararajan, for all words of wisdom that radiated a source of energy, vision, commitment, and continued support. He leads our institution in a better way. On behalf of Nanjal Research Forum, I thank our principal. Next, I thank our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. K. Jayalakshmi, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Kumaraswamy College of Engineering, Karur. She clearly explained about how to write a research article in high-impact journals. On behalf of Nanjal Research Forum, I thank you, ma'am. Next, I thank our convener, Dr. M. Mary Shiva. She has a lot of pain to arrange a wonderful program. On behalf of Nanjal Research Forum, I thank our convener. Next, I would like to thank all the members of Nanjal Research Forum and Dr. Thomas for their contribution, guidance, and encouragement for success of this program. Next, I thank all the participants for your cooperation, making this online webinar a great success. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you, sir.